30 Odd Minutes is sponsored in part by Digital Dowsing. Who are you powered by?
For the next 30 minutes, we will explore the unexplained. From mysteries beyond our galaxy to ghostly phenomena in our own backyard. We will dive into our psychic abilities and explore everything from conspiracies to the just plain weird. Welcome to 30 Odd Minutes. If the truth is out there, we will find it. But only by sheer accident.
Hey! Welcome to 30 Odd Minutes. It's great to have you guys here. We have set the mothership down right into the woods of northern Rhode Island. Why? Because we're looking for Sasquatch. Where else to look for him? I know it's weird. We'll figure out more as we go, not to worry. Want to say hello to the Communications Center. Laura, how are you this evening? I see you're not alone. Wait a minute. What's going on?
I can't hear you.
I can hear
Jeff,
you.
how's it going there?
It's good. How are you?
Hi, Jeff.
What's new? Why are you guys in there and not at the controls? Who's
Well, Oddbot 3000 thought it'd be really funny to lock us out of the control deck, but as Matt and I checked the schematics, we have a way of getting back in after the show, so that little robot better be prepared.
Hey, get on it, please. Get on it. I can't stand it anymore. It's been a tough ride.
I know, we've been invading your space, I know.
Are we safe without anyone at the controls?
I don't think so.
Oh, good. Okay. All right, Laura, anything new?
Well, you know, lots of new things. You like my coat?
Is that some kind of exotic fur? It looks authentic.
It's my Sasquatch suit.
Oh.
You like it?
Boy, that's if the fur people have a problem with mink, imagine what they're going to think of that one.
Well, you know, Matt, geez, I'm telling you, Oddbot, get on it, please.
Yeah.
Let them back in.
Sorry.
Jeez, I'm telling you. Anyways, moving on to more important things like saying hello to LA22 TV in Ponchatoula, Louisiana. Yay! Guys, thank you so much for watching. We promise the next time the mothership heads down to Bourbon Street for Mardi Gras, we'll skim across Lake Pontchartrain and we'll abduct a few of you for a UFO party. Right? Just make sure you don't tell anybody what happened because, anyway, they won't believe you. But, you know, you're not going to be in our good books if you do. So,
Right.
hear nothing,
That's
see
true.
nothing, say nothing.
Love it. All right. Thank you, folks. We'll be back with you a little bit later. It's great when we do abduct people because no one does believe them when we set them back down. Fair enough. Okay, we are talking about Bigfoot tonight, and you've seen lots of grainy videos over the years, and that's why we asked our own Dr. Dreck what he thinks of the whole phenomenon. That's what he said.
Greetings, oddballs. Dr. Dreck here. You know what's even more prevalent than Bigfoot sightings? Bigfoot hoaxes. And if you've always wanted to make a Bigfoot hoax, let me show you how. A very simple way. You don't need a gorilla suit or any of that. Here. Just get a simple Bigfoot model like this, and you take him and you put him on a background like this in the forest, okay? And then you just, take him and you make him walk across it, right? And then after you got that done, you use on your editing equipment what I call a beer filter, which all that really means is that it looks like the person that took the pictures of this had about 10 beers. So it's shaky and it's blurry and just non-distinct kind of thing, like this one. I just put this up on YouTube. Get a look at this. It's already viral. See what I mean? Who's gonna know, right? And real Bigfoot, they don't know. They're not gonna care. As a matter of fact, I happen to know that real Bigfoots, they just aren't that bright. You know what I mean? And I didn't see you there, Bigfoot. How's it going, huh?
Thank you, Dr. Dreck. Always a pleasure.
Well, that's what you get when you mess with Sasquatch.
You don't mess with Sasquatch, the poor guy. All right, when we think of Sasquatch, we often think of remote forests in the Pacific Northwest of the United States, or maybe the Yeti figure in the Himalayas, or beef jerky commercials. But what about New England, specifically Rhode Island? Our guests tonight are a group of Bigfoot hunters who have had some strange experiences in the woods of the Ocean State. They're here to tell us about their quest and show us some of their evidence. The team's founder is the author of the new book, Legend Meets Truth, Bigfoot in Rhode Island. We found them wandering the woods, so we abducted them, because that's how we roll. Please welcome live aboard the mothership, Dina Palazini, Kris Stepney, and Katy Best.
Hey! Welcome!
Welcome to the mothership.
Thanks for having us.
Is this your first time on a spaceship?
I'm a little spaceship sick, so.
Yeah. Well,
But I'll do all right.
We've set her down. We found you here in the woods and thought we would have you come on board. Bigfoot and Rhode Island. Who is Big Rhodey?
Ooh, Big Rhodey. He's the big guy that I saw when I was about 17.
And what happened? I mean, take us through that experience.
It was kind of scary.
Right.
I was about 17 years old, just hanging out with some friends, and we parked on the side of a road in Cumberland, and we were just laughing, being teenagers, and all of a sudden I could just feel something staring at me, and I could smell something really, it was awful, an awful smell. But I kind of blew it off, and I just kind of carried on with what we were doing and laughing and stuff.
Right.
And then I had that intense feeling again. Something is staring at me. And all three of us at the same time looked towards the left and saw this huge, huge creature. A bipedal creature, full of hair. It looked like a man. He had to be about 8 feet, 7.5, 8 feet. He was big,
Okay.
real big.
And what were your thoughts? I mean, when you see this thing?
I thought it was a monster.
Okay. And was that the only sighting you had as a kid?
I've seen glimpses of them now that I've been in the field.
Right.
Footprints and all that, but to see that close, he was about maybe 5, 6 feet from me. So
Okay.
that was a close encounter, like this kind.
And this was sorry about that. What are you gonna do? And this was in Rhode Island.
Yes,
And what part? I mean, was it in the?
it was in Cumberland,
Cumberland?
Rhode Island,
Okay, this is northern Rhode Island in the woods.
in the woods.
Okay, interesting stuff. Okay, so how do you go? And I know you've got a paranormal background. You all do, right? Kris, you started in ghosts, right? Was that
Yeah,
what was first?
I was on my brother's paranormal team, and it was actually myself and my brother Greg went and met Dina and Carl Johnson and to film Bigfoot research.
Right. So it evolved from ghosts into Bigfoot. And what about you, Katy? How did you get into this?
I've had a lot of experiences from when I was younger. I lived in a haunted house, and I probably wouldn't believe in that stuff today. And I mean, just from that experience, it just brought on a new light and new interest that I've been in since I was a child. Really, probably from the age of 8, I would say.
Right.
So, and I'm Greg and Kris. I've known you guys for a while, obviously. And, with Oracle Paranormal, I'm the case manager. So,
Okay.
Basically, I, do all the setting up of cases and handle all the emails and stuff. And it's a lot of fun. And my specialty really is cryptozoology. And I'm more into lake monsters. Bigfoot's kind of like a little bit of a newer thing for me, but
Right.
I'm definitely thrilled to be part of the team. And I'm looking forward to checking it out and seeing if we can find the big hairy man. So I'm excited.
Matt?
Right here.
I'm sorry, that just lent itself to that. Okay, so how do you make the leap, especially from ghosts to Bigfoot? I mean, it seems to me that there's a school of thought that, especially among some cryptozoologists, that, all right, Bigfoot, lake monsters, things like that, they're creatures that just haven't been cataloged yet. Not that everyone believes that to be the case. Some talk about interdimensional kind of things and stuff like that, but they're tangible. Eventually we're going to trap one or find a dead one or whatever. How do you make that leap as a ghost person into this realm of cryptozoology? What do you think? Do you think this is a tangible bipedal creature, or is it something more paranormal?
I think it's a tangible creature. It's something that hasn't been discovered by us in the scientific community or the paranormal community.
Right.
What it is, I don't know. I think it could be the missing link or a new species of man that we just can't seem to catch.
I know, that's the thing. With so many people looking for it after all these years, you do wonder that, what is it? I know there's been lots of witnesses. There's a word for it in lots of continents, the Yeti in the Himalayas, and of course the Pacific, northwest of the United States. And he shows up in Japan and in China and all over the place. I believe, as Lauren Coleman said, every continent but Antarctica, has had some version of this creature. But Rhode Island is not typically a place that you think of as a hotspot. And have you heard from, now that you've come forward, you've got your book out, have you heard from others that have said, I've seen it too?
Basically, that's what my book's about, other people's testimonies. It's based on theory, but eyewitness accounts also.
Okay.
So basically, that's why I wrote it. I wanted to get everybody else's their story out there also, because I'm like, I can't be the only one that saw Bigfoot on Rhode Island. It just doesn't make sense.
Right. Now let's talk about, you showed us a video clip, and we're going to play it here in just a second. You guys out, sorry, which one's first? Okay, so this one is you finding some evidence in the woods. Let's play the clip, and then we'll talk about kind of how you go about doing things. Take a look.
So anyway, we're at an undisclosed area in Rhode Island. I don't like to tell anybody where we go. It's kind of secret. Top secret, really. Anyway, Kris and I were going down the trail, and we noticed this huge boulder. And it's like so out of place. It's obviously been placed there. It's filthy. It hasn't been cleaned by rain or anything else, and we can't seem to find where it came from. There's no obvious hole in the ground. So as we're looking at this rock, saying, wow, that's just weird, very strange, we kind of noticed something a little stranger. I don't know if you can really see it because it was easier to see a little earlier because the sun was actually shining. But there's definite toes and what seems to be a heel mark right here. And it measured to be toe to heel. About almost 15 inches. And it's right near this rock that has obviously been placed there. By what? Well, you can come to that conclusion.
All right, so talk us through the process of looking for evidence. You're in the woods. Is it just eyes down looking for footprints?
Eyes everywhere. I'm always eyes down.
Okay.
Always, because I
kind of sad.
Well, I can't help it. I'm always feeling like I'm going to miss something.
Right. Okay.
So Kris or Aries or even Katy, they look at other things like broken branches, other signs that he could be around, but I'm afraid I'm going to miss a print.
Okay.
So I always have my eyes down, but
Always ahead of all of us, too.
I'm always ahead. I'm always first one in line.
So in this clip, you see this rock that seems out of place. Was that the first thing you saw?
We're walking down the trail. It was just Kris and I that day. And we noticed all the other rocks were nice and rain clean. And there's this one muddy, filthy rock, fresh mud.
Right.
Huge rock sitting in the middle of the trail, and we both kind of looked at each other like, do you see that? And we noticed it like from quite a while,
right.
Length away. And we just, I'm like, if people are watching us right now, they're going to think we're weird. We're staring at a rock in the middle of the trail,
right?
Touching it, and
we think you're weird now.
Well, yeah, we're on a spaceship.
I know.
I mean,
that's a weird place to be.
Definitely.
So it's just looking for things that seem out of place in the woods, and then reverse engineering. All right, we do have a question in the chat room. Laura, please tell us what's going on.
Well, actually, Jeff, it's not a question. We have a message. We have a couple of messages, in fact. First of all, your nephew Henry is watching. He wants to say hello, so we want to say hello to Henry. Hi, Henry.
Hi, Henry.
My nephew Henry?
Your nephew Henry.
Gosh, hi, Henry.
I know, he must be so happy that, you're in this really cool ship and he wants to be here, so
real quick, I question the judgment of my sister to let him watch that. But go on.
Okay, and secondly, we have a message from your friend Aries. She is watching. She's also talking to us on our chat room, and she says hello. She says she's really sorry. She wanted to make it, but unfortunately, she hopes that you guys will be able to pass on the message without her. So,
hi, Aries. We miss you.
All right, we're sorry you couldn't be here. But next time the mothership will come up and pick you up, because we can cross time and space. There's no limitations there. All right, so you've had this experience. Are you folks along for the ride? Katy, have you witnessed anything yet out in the woods with these two?
Not with
paranormal.
Paranormal.
Just saying. Family show.
With paranormal, I've had a lot of experiences.
I mean, in the woods with these guys.
In the woods.
Yep.
Oh well, all the time. You're crazy enough. You're paranormal in yourself, but
right.
I haven't been on an investigation with them yet. I'm new to the group.
Oh, all right.
So it's a new
welcome.
A new realm.
This is her initiation.
Yeah, exactly. Lucky me.
Kris her initiation was finding Bigfoot, and Aries was Chuckles the Clown.
Oh, all right. Well, welcome to the group.
That's how they get in the group, I guess.
All right. Trial by fire. So, Kris, what about you? You've gone on some investigations. I've seen the pictures. You on horseback.
Yes.
Do the horses smell this creature and get scared? What's the process there?
I think that these are animals that are, what's the word I want? Very.
Don't worry, we're live.
I know. Help me out here.
Quick, think.
In tune with
Elusive?
nature. No,
Yes.
they're very in tune with nature.
Okay.
And we go in as females as not aggressive. We're just in the woods, calm, and I think that might bring them out.
Okay. Well, that's unique, certainly. There doesn't seem to be a lot of women in cryptozoology, especially in all-female teams. So that's interesting. You chose to go that route. Yay! Girl power.
Definitely girl power.
All right,
Girl power.
we're going to talk about more of the evidence and more of your experiences right after the news break. We'll be back right after this.
In October of 2011, the Mutual UFO Network, or MUFON, was contacted by a man who had an interesting story to tell about his great-grandmother and the secret her father told her to never reveal. Apparently, sometime during the 1890s, this old woman's father and grandfather had a close encounter with a strange aircraft and its crew on their farm near Logansport, Indiana. The man's great-grandmother said that she was sick in bed on this particular day and did not witness the event taking place. However, her sister was sent out to the fields to bring the two men their lunch, but she was stopped before reaching the field by her father, who told her to go hide in the woods nearby. Later, their father told the family that they had both watched a large silver disc land in the cornfield. After landing, a group of little men exited the craft and took some soil samples and a few corn stalks with them before departing in the strange craft. The old woman's confession was videotaped by the family some years ago when she was in her 90s and was later given to the great-grandson in 2011 to see if he could find any other accounts similar to this event. This could be the earliest UFO report of this kind made in the United States. In other news, a group of Russian scientists who have been investigating Lake Labinkir in Siberia believe they may have found some large bones that could belong to the monster of the lake, known by locals as the Devil. The lake is 17 miles long and has an average depth of 171 feet. It also has a trench which reaches depths of 263 feet, and unlike the rest of Siberia's lakes, it never freezes. While scanning the bottom of the lake, the team noticed what looked very much to them like bones and a large jaw. This is not the first time scientists have seen evidence that something large lives in the lake. In 1953, a team watched animals the size of orcas swimming beneath their boat, and in 2012, sonar detected some very large objects moving deep through the water. And maybe sometime before these large bones can be identified, because the team has not, as of yet, retrieved them from the bottom of the lake. Man, there are always a catch to these stories. I'm Andrew Lake, and oddly enough, that's the news. Yeah.
And to you, Laura.
Hi, I'm sorry. I'm so busy writing
drawing
about
pictures.
this news. I'm not, Andrew. I listened to your news and I was kind of hoping you were actually going to mention this other big piece of news that I heard about, which is kind of really sad. Reg Presley from the Trogs, the infamous Wild Thing singers, has unfortunately passed away. And so, I just was hoping that I would hear that, but no. So now let's talk about it. I hear you know him.
Yeah, I knew him.
Knew him. I'm sorry, of course.
When I was doing crop
Apologies.
circle research in England in the early 90s, I was working with Colin Andrews, who's probably one of the world's foremost.
Name dropper. Sorry.
No, but the reason why I'm saying that is Colin and I have been friends for years, and when I went out there, I was doing some work with Colin and going back to the pubs as you do after research. I got a chance to meet Reg, and a really nice guy. Really, really
But
nice
he was
guy.
very fascinated in the paranormal.
Oh, yeah. He loved all things paranormal. He was very much into UFOs, Loch Ness, and all of that. Well, because you live in England, you deal with the locals.
Much like the late Stevie Ray Vaughan, who you also met
Yes.
and discussed UFOs with.
Yep.
Name dropper.
And it just goes to show you that, there's some celebrities who don't go on celebrity ghost stories and have stories to tell.
Yep.
Yeah, when I heard that he's actually lived in his the same house all his life, he never moved. Even though he found fame, he never actually left his little hometown. So
He knew where to stay.
R.I.P.
He will be missed.
And we do have a question also from the chat room here, and this is for you ladies. Do you think that Bigfoot and creatures like him or her are multi-dimensional creatures?
Yeah, that is a good question. We touched on that barely earlier, but do you think that's a possibility, that this is a much more paranormal creature than flesh and bones.
It could be. I mean, I'm not an expert. I really don't think anybody's an expert.
But you wrote the book.
But I have been asked that question.
Okay.
I think it's more of a biological creature.
Okay.
That's just my opinion.
Just a upright.
It's biological to me.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't think it fell out of this spaceship. and
Well,
came down and,
We've dropped a
But
few
then
things
again,
back
We
there.
dropped a lot of things out of this
yeah,
spaceship.
I'm sure
It's
you
very
have.
nice.
We're not a
to
very
have got
competent
on.
crew, to be honest. Chris, what are your opinion? Same question.
I agree. I think it's a
I
biological.
don't agree. That's not as interesting.
I'm sorry.
Katie?
I think, I don't know, I'm kind of mixed on my beliefs and exactly where I think Bigfoot comes from, but I don't know. I mean, it seems a lot of times, like evidence is found, but then we don't find a body, and it's like, well, where did he go? So
Right.
maybe this spaceship picked him up, or maybe some of you guys knew, or
Maybe that's why it's
Dr.
starting to smell in here. We gotta dump those things
so
out
I'm
in
not
space
quite
or
sure,
something.
but
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
kind of mixed. I agree with Kris and Dina.
Okay.
I think it's more biological.
Right.
Like gorillas and something in that nature, and with evolution, everything changes, and who's to say? I mean, there's a lot of places in this world that haven't been explored, and I mean, little Rhodey, it seems like it is, but he's seen in Rhode Island too, so.
Right.
Who knows?
Yeah,
It's
okay.
pretty interesting.
All right, well, let's talk about the show Finding Bigfoot. Yeah, you guys were on that. Animal Planet. Shameless plug. We don't get TV reception up here, so we missed it on the mothership. How true to life do you think the coverage was as far as your story? And they're not watching, so you can say whatever you want.
Finding nothing. I mean, Bigfoot.
Whoa! Wow!
Just kidding.
Now they're watching. Go ahead.
Well, they were all nice. We had a good time doing the show.
Mm-hmm.
Got tossed under the bus a little bit. Had a tire print across.
Why is that? You can't just leave us hanging with that.
I guess my video was blurry, but I'm not a videographer. That's her. She was driving. I was videotaping.
Let's watch the video. We can talk over it while it plays.
Everybody can have their own opinion about this.
So let's check out this video clip. This was also played on the show. There it is. And you guys are just basically filming out the window. You'll see a circle here in a second. It's tough to tell. Dark something or other. There it is. And Mom? No, that's not my mother. I'm just kidding. She doesn't live in Rhode Island. So they kind of pick that one apart.
They kind of pick a lot of things apart, but
Well, sure.
I was expecting it. I mean,
do you think that this is what does your heart say about that clip?
I don't know. I found a tree walking the opposite way of the other trees. We're going this way, the trees are going that way, and this thing's going
Right.
along with us. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
What did you think when you saw it? Or were you in the car?
I was in the car. I was driving, but we didn't see
Thanks
it.
for watching the road.
I know. I was watching the road.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching the road.
But we didn't actually know it until later on. We were at my house and going through the video, and she saw it. I was just playing the video on the little screen. She's like, "Wait, what is that? Back up!" And we went over that video over and over,
We had
trying to figure it
everybody
out.
going over that video.
Right?
All kinds of people in the paranormal field and research field. It looked like a bipedal creature just walking through the woods.
Matt, Andrew, what did you guys think when you saw that clip?
It's no different than any other blob squatch photographs I've seen. I mean,
ouch.
It's not. You got to bear in mind that what they were doing was filming, if I'm not mistaken, B-roll film for something. So they weren't looking to film something and focus at that particular thing. They were looking for the effect of the trees going by. I get what they were doing. It just happens that in the process of doing that, there's something in the background. We can't clearly see what it is, but there's something there. The fact that, you're recording it for something different doesn't mean that it's invalid.
Right. Laura, I know you love Bigfoot. What are your thoughts on all of this?
I love him.
I love wearing him. It's a monster.
He's so soft.
Oh, come on.
Contrary to whatever people say, he's not dirty and hairy. He's just very soft. Now, Jeff, you know what I think about this stuff.
But they don't.
Oh, world, you should know what I think about this stuff. It's you know, I find it hard to believe that, you know, this massive creature has been trekking around the world or around this hemisphere, and, you know, somehow we have no real physical evidence besides, you know, a few things that have come up, a lot of which have come out to be hoaxes. And I think that just really discredits the whole story. There's just really nothing of a significant evidence. Everything is like this little blob. And that's just not convincing for me.
You really haven't looked, have you?
Laura's our resident skeptic.
I am.
I don't know why.
Someone has to keep you in check.
It's true.
Abducting her was completely an accident, but we're stuck. What are you going to do?
We're like, get out, get out.
We can't. We're
dropping her off in Pontchartrain.
All right, let's talk about some of the evidence. Casts, footprints, right? These things show up all over the place. What are your thoughts on this one?
Human.
I'll have you know that you're wrong. This is Andrew Lake's footprint. How about this one?
Alien, I'm sorry.
This one?
Human.
Wrong again. This is my footprint.
Another alien.
You are just striking out, striking out. Okay, I've got one more. This one.
That looks more like, yeah, because it's more square and rigid.
That's Matt Moniz. No, I'm just kidding. That's not Matt's footprint. This was given to me by
He's
Eric.
got some big feet.
Eric Altman gave me this one.
Oh, Eric, I know him. Good friend of mine.
Heck of a good kisser. And
I'll tell him that.
No, go ahead. No,
I'm sure he's
the
watching.
GoDaddy ad together?
He does watch, actually. Eric, I'm sorry, I forgot. You told me where this cast came from, and I completely forgot, and it's shedding all over me. But thank you for that.
Did you just say that on the spaceship?
I forgot.
Oh, okay.
He gave it to me a few years ago. But anyway, so but these casts, these footprints, are they evidence? You know, or they can be so easily faked. You know, that's one of the problems with it. And is that something you're encountering where people are just to get on Finding Bigfoot or you know, one of these other shows?
I believe a lot of people do because they want to be on TV.
Right.
I really don't care about being on TV. It
Of
just
course not.
happens sometimes. For some reason, it's been happening lately.
Right. Right.
I'm never prepared. It just happens.
Right.
But we go out in the woods for like hours and hours and hours. Who's going to be out there when they don't even know we're out there?
Right.
Faking evidence so we can find it.
Right.
That doesn't make sense to me. Who's going to stand in a big suit, just hoping? Well, you probably
We've all
would.
done that. We've all been there. We're not proud of it.
But who's going to sit there waiting for some teenage kids to come by and
Right.
park on that side of the road
Right.
that particular night
Understood.
in the summer?
Right. Okay, real quick, we have a question for you in the chat room. Laura.
We do. Nick is very insistent on having this question on air, so Go. Okay. Nick says, do you think the population of Bigfoot is increasing, and is it possible that they're migrating closer to people? Go.
Wow, I think people are encroaching on their territory, so migrating, I don't know. I don't live with them. I wish I did, because then I can give you all the information that you could ever want. I mean, I really don't know.
Yeah. No, it's an excellent question. I mean,
It is an excellent question. I just,
human
unless
population.
you live with them, you don't really know.
Right.
Warning, 60 seconds until engine startup. Warning, 60 seconds until engine startup.
Well, I guess Oddbot's in the control room, and we have to wrap this up and get out of here. Real quick, down the line, let's start with you, Katy. Holy Grail, you're out in the woods. What's the Holy Grail for you of experiences? In 10 seconds.
Oh gosh.
9.
Dead hairy man in front of me.
Nice. We could arrange that, actually.
Oh,
Chris?
I just would love to see one walk through the woods. I don't want him dead. Sorry.
All right.
I don't either, but
And Dina, would you want to relive that experience from your
Definitely.
teenagers?
I want to live with them.
Okay.
I want to live with them.
That would be awesome. Listen, you guys have been great sports. I want to give you some coupons. That's as good as cash. It's for beef jerky.
Oh.
Thank you all for coming. Folks,
Nice.
until next time,
Awesome.
stay odd.